we have something special today going on. And I'm going to be talking about Valorant console and Valorant mobile today. And this is a comment I got from a fan. I personally don't think Riot is going to bring this game to mobile since they're working on League of Legends mobile right now, which is like a huge thing right now. And I definitely agree with him. I really wanted to make this video for some time now. And if you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And they actually still have a lot to learn, so much stuff about mobile, especially FPS games. Yeah, that's for a fact. They don't know much about like actual mobile games as they know about console and PC games, because PC games and mobile games is a completely different market. Like, this is the first FPS game they made so far, and I don't think Riot is ready to transform this game to mobile. That's a great point. Actually, they have a lot of experience with competitive games, so games that require some competitive integrity or some athlete performance. What I mean by that is some esport athlete performance. In my way, what this means is basically you have to play really good to be really good and to win really good. But if you really wanted to bring it to console, I just can't imagine the control placement, like the skill and other stuff. Oh yeah, I mean to mobile. Yeah, of course, makes total sense. How could you play, Valorant on mobile? You have 10 fingers, right? What you don't have is a mouse and keyboard. Even on, PS4, where you just have a gamepad and whatever, is a huge difference in my honest opinion. It's probably gonna take them more than 2 years to bring it to mobile, since they probably have to wait other shooter games in mobile not hyped anymore. I don't know. I have to make that into my, paintbrush and show you an example. To make that, just like EA took a lot of time to bring Apex Legends to mobile because they needed to wait for other games not hyped anymore. So what he doesn't mean is they aren't hyped. I guess this actually makes sense. Oh, and another thing that makes me think that this game will not come to mobile. Just ask yourself why CS never comes to mobile. We have a good example of that because there's like CS clones that are doing like great. Just in my opinion, but I'm really happy to see if they can manage to bring Valorant to mobile, which is, I don't know if they can, how they can do that. Anyways, thanks for reading. Sorry for my bad English. Don't worry, dude. Your English is pretty good. And we're gonna, hit it off today. I'm gonna put this over here on my little screen. So a few points he made is CS no mobile, right? No mobilo. No telefona, okay? So no telephone, no Android, no iOS. That's one point I wanted to discuss. And we have to talk about Valorant console release date, because we talk about that in every single video. Valorant console will release sooner than Valorant mobile. I'm also going to be talking about the release dates and whatever by the end of the video, so keep sure to watch that. Anyway, League of Legends mobile and Apex Legends mobile. We also have Apex Legends mobile, so that's that. That's the thing I really didn't consider. Apex Legends on mobile, that's gonna be actually pretty big, to be honest. I never see any big Battle Royale games except Fortnite and whatever, so that's one huge thing. What else do we have? We also have, CS never to mobile. We already said that. Managed to bring Valorant to mobile. I don't know how they can do that, right? So one thing you have to consider, and what I really never talked about, is CS Mobile actually has a lot of clones on mobile. So clones are one example. They're not really CS, but there's some form of kind of like CS, and they work pretty well. So he never considered that. So like say there was like some sort of a game, I think it was called Spec Ops. But if you search CSGO into mobile or Android or iOS or any form sort of like that, you will always see some great games that are really high quality. They run on great graphics and whatever, and they actually work. So I'm pretty sure we can actually reconsider this one. I'm pretty sure we can actually delete this, because CS on mobile doesn't have Steam, no money. It's simple as that. Next thing, Valorant console, okay? Valorant console actually a huge thing, because Valorant console makes more tournaments. There's more organized tournaments for these games than for mobile. It's easier, it's better, it's more watchable. Just look at Overwatch, it has a lot of PC, tournaments, and so will Valorant, in my honest opinion. So you actually don't see a lot of, games played on console, right? But for example, on Overwatch, You don't see a lot of tournaments running PS4 and Xbox and PS5. But nobody's actually considered PS5 and the new generation, Xbox X or whatever. Nobody has talked about that. And also nobody has talked about big games such as FIFA 20 or I don't know. I think there's a lot of games. NBA. I guess more of these games are better played on controller. Then we have smaller tournaments for driving games. If nobody knew that, you can't really base it off that Valorant is never gonna come to console because, well, simply Valorant console is just stupid. Blah, it has no aim assist. It won't work. Seriously, like this can work. Look, if we have Apex on mobile, we can also have Valorant, okay? Okay, so they're completely different games, Battle Royale, but still require a lot of aim. You know, Apex has something very similar with Valorant. So, how are they similar? So, what Apex does, it also has abilities, and it also requires big movement. That's one thing nobody's talking about. Do you get my point here? Movement and abilities are one of the key features in games actually right now. And I'm surprised nobody's actually talking about this yet. So that's one key thing. So Valorant also has both of these things. And also one thing Apex has is high budget. I'm surprised nobody can consider this. High budget means, you know, Valorant is not ready. Valorant Mobile is not ready. Simply not ready yet. Just not ready. But when is it gonna release? Yeah, if you would ask me, I would say a year, but I guess we could say, you know, for other games to die down, which could make total sense. You know, Fortnite is still kind of going strong on mobile, not really that much. But we have a lot of mobile games that are coming up. So, example, League of Legends on mobile. Yeah, they're two different games, Valorant Mobile and League of Legends Mobile. Completely two different games, but still the principle is same. The market is pretty similar. They're both games, they're both played a lot. Even though the demographic is kind of different, they can't make two games at once. They can't publish Valorant Mobile and League of Legends Mobile, right? It's a big difference in my opinion. And I definitely think for League of Legends Mobile, they will release it like this year, I think. I think they said something like this year. So what this means for Valorant Mobile is Valorant Mobile will at least like 2 years or something. I'm saying that at least 1.5 years. Am I sure about this? Yeah. Yeah, this is much more possible. Now, if we go to Valorant console release date or whatever here, if we compare this, you know, you don't really have a lot of big games dominating except Warzone. Okay, so Warzone is one of the biggest competitions right now for Valorant. Why? They're both free. That's how you compare them. You don't compare them, oh, they're not Battle Royale. They don't work. Valorant and Warzone actually work together pretty well. They're both free. They both have a huge budget, and that's what's really important. Huge budgets means, you know, more room for errors. So that's what they have together. So if we go over here, more room for errors, what makes them unique, and they're both FPS and they're both competitive. How will Valorant compete with that? Well, I guess there's one example which they're gonna have to do a lot is a lot of ads. So they're gonna have to draw users at some point. The next thing that's actually a lot cheaper ads is tournaments and Twitch streams and whatever. You know, the keys, for example. The keys are actually one huge thing in Valorant. So the beta key drops. I don't think, will Valorant console release date have like keys? I don't think so. Nah. You know, the hype is gonna be over. And how are you gonna, like, I don't know. I just don't see it. Why would you release a beta key for a full release? Like, beta key for a full release? Or, I mean, just a key. So it's not gonna be beta anymore, but a key for a full release? That is crazy. Full release? a release. Seriously though, key for a full release? What the fuck? That's not a good marketing strategy. If it's available, why would they limit users? They limited users because of the server size didn't have enough capacity. Otherwise, beta would be like super good. But because of the quarantine, right, they couldn't publish all the servers at once. So that was a key issue for them. Honestly, I think we had one more thing over here going on. So I'm gonna recap it later, but if we look at over here, Apex Legends we already talked about. So Apex Legends and Valorant Mobile are pretty similar. If we go back to Valorant console, yeah, this is my opinion on the keys. People have been asking me what I think about the keys, what I think anything about that. And the release, this is gonna be like console, just to summarize this video, will release sooner than mobile. So you have some key features here. You know, I want to be talking about something about consoles as well, that, you know, it beats mobile, but that's gonna be for my next video now. I'm gonna go hit the gym. Anyway, be sure to check out my other videos in this family. Sign out. Peace, guys.